Thank you, Kent. Thank you for all the nice words. And it's just a great pleasure to become working for the rendering industry since 2009. And I have a great experience and in my career. It's so great to become a renderer and working for this industry. And actually, this is the topic is the one that is provided by Dana. Dana really wanted me to talk about China making moves to reduce food loss and waste. And this is something total new presentation prepared before I come to this conference. In the first one, I'm going to talk about the food loss, food waste, and the roles of rendering in food loss waste reduction. And then I'm going to talk about USDA, NARA, Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute Corporation. And also I'm going to review the Chinese market for rendered products and other ingredients out of food waste loss, food waste reutilization. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about China's own food loss waste reduction programs. I took this slides from Dr. Busby's presentation. She is the USDA chief scientist for food loss and food waste issue. And according to her description, there is going to be several important time points. The first one is between the post-harvest to the retail. Then she called this stage called the food loss. And she estimated up to 14% of food get lost in this process. And then after the retail, there's going to be 17% of food got wasted. That what she defined as food waste. And we had some discussion about how rendering fit into this food loss, food waste system. And we NARA had a internal conference, virtual conference 2 months ago. And then we have some discussion with Kent, with Dana, with Charles and Anna. And then we believe, as actually this was Kent point out, and we are 100% prevent the food loss. And that's what our picker members do. And also our independent renderers who has a long-term contract with the packing house or the poultry processors to receive materials. They also are the one that is 100% prevent the food loss during this process. And also the blood processors are also the one that is doing the job to 100% prevent the food loss, and which is also can consider as 100% of reduction of the food loss. And because blood is also food items in many of the Asian countries. And for the food waste, it's going to be more the work related to the independent renderers that receive the raw materials from like supermarkets, from the food service. And also, I think our UCO processors presented the best story of the to reutilize the UCO out of the restaurants. I think that's what our rendering industry fit into this food loss and food waste system. And also, as the USDA mentioned, and there's a multiple federal program to support the reduction of food loss and the food waste. And there's a lot of programs. I did not spend the time to find out what they are, but I hope our members would be able to spend some time to study the individual programs, because what our members are doing is just exactly the same as the USDA promote the reduction of food loss and food waste. In the last July, and USDA launched a program to promote the food waste reduction and the nutrient recycling of technology. And then we are invited to be part of with the USDA office in Guangzhou. And I'm going to give a very briefing on their on the content of this on the program of this forum. And the USDA mainly introduced the impact of the food loss and the food waste in economical, ecological, and social ways. And also, Dr. Busby promoted different programs that funded by the federal and the state governments, and also a lot of work that is for the education of the people and also different societies. And after that, we introduced our rendering practice, blood processing, bakery, dairy, fishery, and harpooning insects, and all the different ways to reutilize the food loss and the food waste. And also, we also invited Dr. Erla to give a presentation on his study of direct uses of food waste in animal feeding. In this forum, we invited Haslab to give a presentation because the rendering equipment, especially which is extensively used in the US, are really automated, intelligent systems. Although the cost is very high, but it's guaranteed very consistent results. And we start to work with Haslab to promote our rendering technology to deliver the message of the safe, quality, and consistent products to the audience. We had the Tyson distributor to present on poultry rendering, and also we have the Darling to present the reutilization of bakery products and other Darling's specialty products. We invited one of China's most renowned aquaculture specialists to introduce how to develop the optimized uses, a combination of different rendered protein ingredients to replace fish meal. And that was also very good. We had APC to present how the blood should be precise to make the very high quality, consistent, functional proteins. And then we also have the virtual service to allow more professionals to have access to this technical forum. And then for this event, and that's one of the China's governmental media sent a team to interview the Darling ingredients and also our other speakers and to promote this. Actually, this is China's first forum event on the promotion of food waste reduction. And we had the various global media to report this event. There's more than 400 media that is pick up the news and spread to different people. And also the 6 major Chinese gateway website all reported this event. And we just had that the internal conference and within our NARA team, and then we are planning for the next one for this year, 2024. And for the China moves of food waste reduction, I'm going to talk about the global trade of rendered proteins to China, and also China's pet food industries and demand for rendered proteins worldwide. And also I'm going to introduce the NARA's education on regulatory agencies, industries, and pet parent communities, as long as the service to our industry and our members. And this is as part of the trade data of China from 2011 to 2023 to last year. And as Ken mentioned, the export number to China really almost doubled in the past year. And also the total trade in China's import of rendered products from global markets reached almost 500,000 metric tons. That is also a new record for China. And for the other suppliers like Australia, their volume around 46,000 metric tons, and Argentina and Uruguay, they are supply around 30,000 metric tons. And New Zealand exported roughly 22,000 metric tons plus 5,000 metric tons of poultry meal. And that's all the animal proteins that China received from global markets. I know the Brazilian renderers work really hard to open up the Chinese market. And I also heard there's a lot of progress with it and hope the market will be fully open at the end of 24 or 25. And this is the market share here in the US. Render products accounted for 73% of the total render proteins shipped to China. When we look at the value, because poultry meal is the major ingredients as part of China, and this has higher value, and the total market share for U.S. poultry meal is 81% of the total render proteins China received from global markets. And China, the importance of Chinese market is because it's huge. For the feed production, it's around 280 million metric ton per year. And when we just look at the aquaculture feed market, that's already 25 million metric ton. That require a lot of high quality proteins. And China is right now experiencing the transition from the carp species to the high value omnivore or carnivore species. And I think this transition will be there in the next 20 years. That will generate more opportunities, more demand for animal proteins. And also the pet food industry also growing very fast. China did not publish the pet food production information at this time, but based on our estimation, it should be 1.4 million metric ton of dry pet foods producing by China. It also require a lot of animal proteins. And all the success is not, the market of Chinese market will not develop on its own. It's all related to a lot of works that are narrowed down in the past decades, especially after 2003, Kent become the vice president in charge of the global markets and also Chinese market development. And this is one of the delegations that is come to our Washington, D.C., and then we always find the time to educate, to present our industry to their attention. And in the past 20 years, a lot of young veterinary officers become the leaders. For example, the gentleman in the middle, he's become the Vice Minister of GACC, and then the gentleman on the left, he become the Director General of the Department of Animal Plant Quarantine. And this is also a picture we took from 2010. The gentleman on the right, he become the division director in charge of all the animal products, market access issues. As you can see, that it was Kent is in the middle. That's what his 2010. Yeah, I cannot believe already 12 years passed. And also we have a lot of other work that it's like a maintenance of non-ruminant trade protocol in the past 2 decades. And also we had China to establish a new protocol in 2015 to cope with the AI situation in the United States. And also we help our members to get their registration on time. So everybody that is producing a poultry meal in NARA, they must have a license, at least one license to export the poultry meal to China. So we fully opened up all our capacity of export of a poultry meal to China. We hope we can have more pork renderers to work with us to open up the market to China. Also, we help with the PBM poultry meal standard and grading system to make sure that China's standard will not become a hurdle, become an obstacle for the future. And we have quite a bit of success there. Also, we do a lot of promotions. We promote our products, promote the quality, safety, consistency to the pet food industries. And this is the Chinese companion animal food ingredient conference, just like the Mexican pet food forum, and then we have everybody's distributor in China, and we have the meeting outside the door. So that is like a mini MDC meeting in China. It's quite interesting. Also, we educate the pet food brand holders because China's situation is different from US. Half of the China's pet food production is actually done by the OEM situation, OEM format. And the pet food brand holders authorize the OEM manufacturers to produce the pet foods and on their behalf, and then they will sell the products. So there is going to be a separation between the pet food brand holders versus the pet food manufacturers. In that case, we have to educate the pet food brand holder as well to use more US products so they can compete with the US pet foods in quality. Also, we participate in many aquaculture conference in China. We hope to recruit the Chinese speakers to next year, 2025, International Rendering Symposium to share their understanding, their expertise with the US and the Latin America colleagues. And also we find a different opportunity to introduce our products to the distributors, channels, and pet owners. Yeah. The last one is China's move on food loss, waste reduction. China has a lot of education on the people, on the restaurants or student cafe that try to fully eat the meal you ordered. That advertisement or that promotion is there. But for the Chinese pet food, Chinese rendering industry, it's kind of a different situation. Initially, we saw Chinese eat a lot of the offals from meat industry, but it has been changing quite a bit in the past 10 years. And we did see a lot of skin. We did see some of the chicken bones that is become available for the Chinese rendering industry. And they also become a very strong competitors in our US poultry meal in Chinese pet food markets. It is always, but for this like a pork or like a beef bones rendering is still in a very primary situation. It's not a very like a high tech process like our industry, and the equipment right now is still very bad. And although the Haslev already built up their China plants and the other suppliers of rendering equipment is available for China markets, but it's very hard for the Chinese renderers to afford those equipments. And there is no governmental investment, governmental guidance on this industry. That industry is like 1 century ago of the US rendering industry, and it's just a very difficult free competing situation. And nobody signed a long contract with their supplier of raw materials. Everything has to be paid every day. And so it's going to be difficult for the Chinese rendering industry. Yeah. There's some pictures of the one we know. Let's just give everybody a brief presentation about what the Chinese rendering industry is. Also, there's the blood, although those feathers. The feather processing is require a lot of technology, but it's almost not there in China. They are using more enzyme to break down the keratin bonds, and I think that is the majority of Chinese local produced feather meal. And the difference from U.S. made products versus local made render products is very different. And the U.S. product is a very controlled thermal treatments. And China is it's a water fat boiled or double cooking system. And I can imagine a lot of overheating will be there. And also scale, the U.S. can be easily like a producing 10,000 metric ton per year, but China, there's not such a big facility available. And for the biosafety control, for the residual program, environmental moderation monitor program, sustainability test is all not available in Chinese, in local industry. And also, like China does not have an association like a NARA, which is really provide a lot of guidance for the industry and provide a lot of certification programs such as IP, such as code of practice, FISMA, to make sure our industry will meet the expectations of the public. China does not have that. So that is the situation of Chinese rendering industry right now. And that's a very important part of the food waste reduction. That is the insects industry is there, but the governmental guidance, governmental support to this industry is to this farming practice is also very limited. There are some research sponsored by the governments, but the overall it's industry or the farming practice develop on their own. And the only thing China is doing is China government is doing is to sponsor the processing plants that are dealing with the diseased animals that should be depopulated animals. The carcass, those must be rendered to make sure they will not come to the human food chain anymore. And I visited several facilities, and they are able to afford the high-level, high-tech rendering equipment to produce the meals just for the fertilizer. And I think that's the situation about the China food loss or waste reduction program. I really want to take this opportunity to thank Kent for all his guidance, all his hard work to secure the fundings from the governments to support our development of overseas markets. In this 20-year efforts, now Dana she's working on a new project and to try to secure more funding from a very competitive program. And all the work in the DC that is really lead to the development of our industry, our market in China, in Asia, and global. And I want to thank Kent and Dana, all our colleagues in the US for all their kind of support. Thank you.